Hey, welcome back to the Virgo channel. My name is Laura, and I'm going to do a general message for Virgo. Know that energy is fluid, roles could be reversed. Interpret the message as it best resonates. Also, know if you're new to the channel, I like to go in deep within my readings, which means that I also look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, and see how they play out as karmic themes within your experiences. You need to keep that in mind if you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, because if you win, part of your reading's obviously going to be a shadow reading. Also, if you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, you need to like the video, subscribe to the channel, write the word of the video in your comment bar. That's on the first card that I pull out, is that word that I'm looking for that you need to write in the comment bar, your comment bar. You'll know if I chose you if I wrote the word winner underneath your comment. Also, all giveaway readings are done live. I believe in spiritual law, what's best for everyone. So because there's healing style readings, really, a lot of people resonate with them. There's only so many psychological and emotional behaviorisms, you know, um, and we see a lot of these patterns play out and just in different ways, so the karmic story is a little bit different, but the behaviorisms and the habits a lot of times are the same, and we see that. The key is to understand not 100% why this person is being, why they're doing what they're doing, though I do say that within my readings, but it's to understand why you've attracted this type of person into your life. Is to understand that you can shape shift the energy within your relationship by doing different things. So when you see your situation from a different perception, which is through a spiritual perception, which is just through the filter of unconditional love, instead of getting triggered. A lot of times what happens is when we're dealing with our soulmate or a twin flame, that we're seeing our situation through our wound. And so it keeps us kind of stuck in that pain, instead of learning why the situation happened, so that we can actually integrate the spiritual lesson that transmutes that negative energy, that's going to allow us to see a different version of ourselves. And that allows us to attract something different. See, suppressed energy becomes repressed energy. So when we feel bad about ourselves, over time, we don't even realize that we feel bad about ourselves. It comes out unconsciously within our behaviorisms. So healing is not just about the awareness, it's about being able to step in to a new version of yourself. So even though what we'll see a lot of times are negative karmic themes play out, it doesn't mean that you should be stuck in negativity. It should be that you extract what the spiritual knowledge is, apply it, so that you can, like I said, attract something that's more in alignment with who you are today instead of the wound. A lot of times, this is how we get stuck in the past. We keep attracting the same type of person, and the same type of situations keep playing out. It keeps us stuck in feeling like we really can't have those deep and intimate connections that we really want to have. And why are we here? We're here to give and receive of love, to become the expression of love. And unconditional love is the energy of the universe. So it's the energy of God. It's the energy that's inside of each and every one of us. It's known as spirit. It's our connection to each other. It's felt as empathy. So again, that's why we're here. But when we have a lot of shadows and wounds, we feel separate and disconnected from ourselves. And if we're disconnected from ourselves, we can't connect intimately with anyone else because we don't trust. So, like I said, it's not just about yes or no, it's about why, in my opinion, because once we understand why, we tend to not take things personally, we're able to see it like again from a much higher perspective. Helps us evolve back to that original energy of unconditional love. So that underlining energy is going to be negativity. So you're going to write negativity, and I'm going to pull another card and do it a little bit different tonight. Mix it up a little bit. Perseverance. I feel like Virgo, you're surrounded by a bunch of people that have, like, you trigger a lot of people. And I feel like you must have been brought up by a parent that made you feel not loved, made you feel not like, not like you were allowed to have your own identity, almost like this person said, this is who you are. And you need to walk from that level of consciousness. And unfortunately, that parent, that was done to that parent. Abuse is passed on. You know, the way that our parents raised us is the way that they were raised. And a lot of times, they even try to compensate in how they were raised. They say, well, my parent, this bothered me, so I'm going to, overcompensate in that, where I'll, you know, won't make you pay the same consequences as me. A lot of times our parents will do that, but the behaviorisms and habits are unconscious. So I feel like you have a trauma there. And that trauma plays out as if people, like, you trigger people because they want to see you a certain way. And then what happens is that you show them something else. And then when people think that you're going to go through a difficult time and that's really what's going to trip you up, it's actually not what trips you up. It's actually what amps you up. So I feel like you're making things happen within your career, within your life, and you're going through a hard time right now. And instead of people being happy, it's actually triggering them. And so there's a lot of negativity. So I feel like you're in a space of like protecting yourself. You're in a space of um, really trying to stay focused on your career. And so I even feel like if you're connected to somebody, like I said, there's a sense that this person and you are in separation from one another, and negativity is coming from this person too, but for a different reason. Like, I feel like some of the people are competitors of yours, and that's where negativity is coming from. But this person that's connected to you, I feel like there's negativity because they want you to get tripped up. They want you to slow down. They want, because there's a sense that you're leaving them behind. Like, you won't need them for anything. That you're gonna have an entirely new life by the time that this person is able to come back. And I feel like they've been in separation from you for a long time. So you actually uh moving ahead is creating like negativity. People are perceiving that you're doing very well. And like I said, instead of them applauding, there's that energy. And I feel like that's a karmic theme that you always have. And that's why I said that earlier. It's like a trauma. And until you heal it, that's going to be the same type of experiences that play out. Is like a karmic loop that continues to play out within your life, where you're like, I don't know, it's like when I make things happen in my life for myself, people they get mad, like I'm not supposed to have anything. So again, that's the karmic theme of not being allowed to have anything, not even allowed to have your identity. Remember, if you were raised by a parent that was always angry, and remember, that type of abuse is handed down when so you have a parent that's so controlling and that they are like ridden with anxiety, and it comes out as anger, and it comes out as resentment, and it comes out as, a lot of negative energy with people. There's a sense of not trusting. So that's the problem with intimacy. So I feel like Virgo, you attract people that have intimacy issues, like in when it comes to real your personal, relationships. They're major trust issues, and it's because you have trust issues. So this is the underlining energy. Like, you're making things happen, but I don't believe that people are happy for you. And the key is to not care. Like, and that may be challenging. So do make sure that you're doing things that are going to raise your energy. Be around people that do support you, do things that you like to do by yourself. Spend a lot of time by yourself in nature. And I feel like you do some of those things, and that's why you're able to also persevere. You've gone through this so many times before that I feel like you know how to get through difficult situations. Like I said, like, because I feel like you're going through something personal at the same time as your come up, at the same time as being surrounded by people that are not really applauding you or not really happy for you. So again, the person that you're connected to, I feel like they're like nonstop thinking about you, excessively thinking about you. And it's again because this person sees that things are happening in your life. They feel as if you're leaving them behind. And I feel like they've reached out a few times, but like barely did anything. So like maybe gave you a like on Facebook, or, gave you a hi, what's up, and a text, but it's again, no real effort, just very on the surface. And I feel like this person is not used to having to do anything, do any work. And so their excessive thinking is mainly shocking for them, because they usually create people to get paranoid, people to overthink about them. So they've found themselves in a different place than they're used to being in, and they don't really know how to deal with the situation I'm feeling. And so there's a sense of, for a long time, they had expectations that you would, I think this person saw you as someone really nice, someone that was really gullible, someone that was kind of naive, someone that would always give second and third chances, that was always going to be there. There was a deep connection. And, you know, they have a lot of unrealistic goals, because I don't really feel like they gave their if someone they're not happy for you, that you're moving forward. They didn't give you the time, the energy, the effort. It's like, and now it's like, of course, they see you as like a full package, where I don't feel like they did before. And not because that you're not, but because, you know, you were creating yourself. So they were only seeing bits and pieces of yourself. So maybe again, you said started your own company and it started small. And this person came in when it was just like an idea, or you were in the process of creating the groundwork for whatever it was that you were doing. So they didn't have the vision, they didn't see. And because your time and your energy and your efforts were going towards creating yourself and doing for you, and they didn't see this vision, they based everything on the car that you drove, the clothes that you wore, and what they thought was, and I'm gonna, I hate to say it, but it was like I could do better. Meaning I could do better financially. I could do better, you know, with somebody that is a little bit more flashier, someone that, kind of is surface, but gives the illusion that they live this extravagant life, mainly so that it would make them look better. And I feel like when you met this person, you kind of had expectations, obviously, that they were going to put a little effort in because there was a connection, obviously. And we see that there's still a connection. It's not that we don't see a connection here, because this person is like, I still have a connection. It's just I never came and told you how I truly felt. I never really gave you the effort, which is why I feel like this person feels bad. It's like because and why they again don't want to see you move forward. They just don't know how to come towards you because again, they're afraid that you're going to be angry, and for a long time they were angry. They were like a long time. I feel like your boundaries of how you wanted to be treated actually triggered this person. Like I said, there's what I'm feeling is they're not happy that you're moving forward, but almost to a sense of uh you're leaving them behind and it's more like a jealousy, like you're gonna have a good life and they're not gonna have a good life. When meanwhile they had came into your home and or saw the car that you drove or saw the clothes that you were wearing and made a judgment call. So I feel like they're angry at themselves, more angry at themselves, but it's almost triggering to them that they can see you having this amazing life now. And that's what I feel like everyone is being triggered by it because they didn't see it. But this person especially. Yeah, there was a sense of them like wanting to kind of dominate you. And part of that is to make themselves feel stronger, to make themselves feel like they enjoyed it when they saw that you were like, when you started off, you're not really secure. When you start off, it's not like you like have the connections. It's a seedling. It's an idea. It's like, but it was also a struggle and a sacrifice. And this person saw you struggle and sacrifice, and they didn't never thought that you were going to come out of that. And so you might say, and this is a person that cared about me. This is a person that I have a connection with. Well, I don't feel like this person obviously showed you that. This person, I'm kind of feeling, again, created a persona about themselves. And we're going to see what that persona was by how you got triggered. But what we can see is that they're like nonstop thinking about you now. And it's again because I feel like they can actually see the life that you're creating for yourself. So it's like, are they attracted to you? I feel like they were always attracted to you, but what holds a lot of stock in this person's life is if a person has their own life and not just for financial reasons, but because I feel like this person like has a bit of commitment issues. So they find being with someone that's very independent is makes them feel a lot more comfortable. Possibly because they're emotionally not capable of giving. And so someone that can't give it to themselves is not going to be satisfied. It's going to create a lot of problems in their relationships. And that's really what I feel like. This person has had a lot of problems in their relationships, which is why they want to be more dominant, why they want would again not again this card, why they want to be more dominant, why they would want you to be like submissive to to what they wanted. And so what I feel is that it hasn't worked out because of that. Like I said, that they've only gone with people that aren't really secure, that aren't as independent, but this person isn't really as confident to be with someone on your level. So they might have dated someone that had their own job, but still was very codependent on them, where I don't feel like you're codependent on them at all. So that's another thing. This person like doesn't know whether they're strong enough to be with you, which is another reason why they're like, every time you succeed, it's like it triggers them. It makes them have to look at like, what are they doing in their life? How much have they accomplished in their life? So, and also like that, making them think if your life is this good that you're going to have expectations with them, where remember they had a lot of expectations of you on how they expected you to act. And so like I kind of feel like they don't like it when the tables are turned. They sure know how to dish it out, but they don't know how to take it. And so, again, that most of their time everything came before you, including like little hobbies. It didn't matter. Everything was more important than you. And that's because, like I said, they undervalued you because they were basing your life on like what they saw you had at that moment and and on your vision that they couldn't see. And I feel like that's the real clicker to this person. They've never seen anybody create themselves out of like nothing. It's like it didn't make sense to them. It's like you might have not had the resources, and then all of a sudden, like you connected with people that gave you the resources to do, or this person like met you where you said, oh, I want to go to school. And then now all of a sudden you're doing the craft that you went to school for. Like I said, there's a sense that they didn't see you being capable of doing whatever you had set your mind out to do, where I feel like they were very like surface, you know what I mean? They were very everything was all about be like what things they wanted it to look like. And I feel like you don't like open up on a physical level until emotionally you've gotten what you need. And I feel like that was continually a problem for this person because here it is, it's like they're not giving you any time, any energy. And even though they might not have even tried to do anything, this person might have wanted to talk dirty to you. They might have wanted to, like, I feel like they wanted to create that facade, that fantasy, like where they met you and they're like, oh, I'm attracted to you, but you're not really good enough for me. However, like I wouldn't mind talking to you like on the phone, texting back and forth, you know, you know, kind of pretending like we're gonna date, but really you just talking to me and talking sexy. Like I feel like this person like talks to people on Instagram. I feel like they talk to random people that are like blow up this person's ego. So they figured, well, you and I can like talk to each other and kind of like hook up on the internet, and you weren't willing to do that. And so if anything, like it was robbing you of like passion. It wasn't like, I don't feel like you were having passion. And I feel like this person was like, felt like you were rejecting them because this person like is also used to dating people that I feel like they don't put any effort in, that they do what they want. Like I said, it's not just you that this person treated this way. This person, like, I believe, does not feel good about themselves. So they get attention from other people. Those people are not on a high vibration. This person, because again, you were working on something when you met them. Again, they were perceived that you were like all those other people. Now like you're showing them, like, again, a completely different side, something that they could never, like, never even foresee that happening. And they have feelings. So, you know, and it's, again, so I feel like this person, like, actually has feelings and they're not used to feeling their feelings. And so it's very triggering for this person. So because they're not liking really where they are in life. So instead of them dealing with it, they they suppress their problems, and they suppress their problems by drinking too much and smoking too much. Again, avoidance. So I feel like a lot of time went by. This is why this person, like, again, saw you in one way. You were like, well, I'm not gonna, like, sit here and talk dirty to you, and I'm not gonna sit here and talk to you sometimes either, like, as just to entertain you when you feel like it. I'm not gonna do that. So you detached. This person uh like wasted a lot of time, and they wasted a lot of time because, they ran around with, different people. They drank too much, they partied too much. Again, avoidance. And so now, and also understand this person wouldn't have needed to be with somebody that they perceived had, a lot of money, being by the car that they drove and the clothes that they wore, and again, by the outside things. They wouldn't have needed that if they actually felt good about themselves. So they don't really feel good about themselves. They create a facade that they do by being phony, and it would almost, at that time that they met, you would have almost rather you pretended to be like that. I feel like the thing is, you're not like that. This person, like, was like, okay, I want you to, like, then flirt with me, give me give me time when I want time, make me feel good, feed my ego when I come around you. Like, no, I'm not going to do that either. So this person did that. They fed their ego. They had a lot of unhealthy choices, and I feel like in that they lost themselves for a while in escaping really from not feeling good about themselves. So of course they come out of this party time where, again, when probably hungover all the time, or just drunk all the time, or high all the time, and they finally come out of this stupor, and you are, like, doing your craft. You are, like, on a completely different, like, place. You're doing different things, that now this person feels so far away from you, where before the distance wasn't that bad. Whereas, so part of their negativity too is their own anger on the fact that they didn't do anything. So that's why they're like, oh, I don't want you to, you know to advance so much within your career that you don't even recognize who I am. I don't want you to, and if it's not your career, it's a hobby, it's an interest. I don't want you to, like, really pursue it because you'll leave me behind. So there's an energy where this person never thought that they would be in a position where where you're leaving them behind. So let's see, let's go a little bit deeper. Don't listen to other people, trust yourself to know the truth. So I feel like this person is like, um, they're paranoid and they're paranoid because I feel like they had a deep connection to you. And I feel like some of them actually knew that you spoke of them to friends and that people were going to ask you, oh, you're still talking to so and so, and that you would, like tell your situation. And I feel like this person asks for advice too a lot of times and they get bad advice. And so they wonder whether or not, but they still want, even though they get bad advice, to like not apologize and not really to fix the connection. They down deep inside still want to. And so I just feel like they're like, well, if I'm getting bad advice, you might be getting bad advice. Like I'm not gonna listen to that bad advice, but I hope that you don't listen to the bad advice because again, already this person feels like you're leaving them behind. I care about you even when I act like I don't. So again, like this person, like it's not that they don't care, it's like they almost are like acted like they didn't care for so long that it's almost like they don't know how to be any other way. My inner child was wounded when my parents couldn't respond to me in the way I needed them to. So I am reacting from that wound. So again, this proud person has major intimacy issues, major trust issues. I feel like the substances is a form of avoidance. So this person like has, you know, that anxious avoidance issue where they, problem arises and instead of them working it out or apologizing, they just think that time is going to fix it and they just avoid it and in order for them to really avoid it, because I feel like this person is sensitive when they care, that is, when they're connected to a person that they care about, they are sensitive to that person's needs. Um, that in order for them to not feel, they drink, they do drugs, they do whatever they need to do to shut those feelings off so that those feelings don't influence what them. Because obviously, I feel like they would have wanted to come back before, but they were stuck in, and the fact that you like had a boundary, I feel like you were like, no, I'm not gonna like just be with you the way that you want me to be with you. I'm not gonna sell myself short. I'm not gonna sit here and let you take up space in my life when I could go out and meet somebody else that's actually gonna give me what I want. And I feel like that triggered this person. And I think it triggered them because they were like, who are you? You don't have that much. You're not driving like a Bentley. You're not like it, like bringing home $200,000 a year. You're not, again, like having this judgment about you. When meanwhile, like the whole time you're like creating yourself, and now they can see you doing all those things that they were saying that, who are you? You can't tell me when that's not what relationships are about anyway, right? I mean, not about what you have. Reincarnated together to clear specific patterns from our ancestral bloodline. So I feel like, again, that doesn't mean that you're supposed to be together. If a karmic person comes into your life, if a karmic person comes into your life, they're coming into your life for you to learn something about yourself. And I feel like in this situation so far, we don't see you learning anything negative about yourself. If anything, I see you persevering through a lot of difficult circumstances. So that needs to show you something. So if you're someone that always perceives that you're a weak person, well, it should show that you're not a weak person on any level. So sometimes our shadows, underneath those shadows, expose our gifts. As twin flames, we are here to ascend and help others to do the same. I feel like this person may perceive that you're a twin flame. You might even say that this is your twin flame, but understand a twin flame that's not healed is really like a past life karmic mate, because a past life karmic mate is someone that continues to stay in the same behaviorisms, the same habits that keep them stuck in a limited thought um, perception about themselves, stuck in a core belief about themselves that's negative. And so, unless this is a twin flame relationship that awakens this person to see that there's different ways to be. Like, I feel like this person is just someone that's very logical and analytical, probably went to school, got a degree, and has a good job, does everything cookie cutter. And here you are, you don't do anything cookie cutter. So this person never met a person like you, number one. Number two, didn't have the vision that you have, didn't see it happening, but was again judging you through their own perception about from like who they are when they didn't even take the time to get to know you. So they feel a little sheepish, they feel embarrassed. So unless this person surrenders their ego, and comes back and apologizes and makes it up, I don't think that they're a twin flame. I think that they are a twin flame that um, chooses to stay in a low vibration. Please contact me. I may not respond, but knowing you care opens my heart. So again, if they're a twin flame, they're again battling their ego. Not until a person like surrenders their ego, that's when they're ready to step into the best version of themselves. And not until then can I call the person a twin flame. Now, again, past life karmic mate that's supposed to evolve up to a twin flame status. Yeah, because we can be a past life karmic and choose to step into of the best version of ourselves at any moment and evolve into that twin flame so that we're ready to really fully transmute those negative wounds, because through the passion, right? But here, this person kind of damaged the passion because of how they were. And the problem is that I feel like they have a lot of passion for you still, which is why they're so paranoid about you leaving them behind. And there is a sense that they've never met anyone like you before. So this could be a twin flame connection. But as far as right now, I want to see them step up into the best version of themselves. And holding back where they're wishing that you reach out to them, I'm just like, neither one of us is being honest right now. Why are we afraid to express ourselves? So again, this person knows that you have feelings for them. And they're like, you're holding back from me. And in holding back from me, I'm holding back from you. So there is mirroring energy going on here. But that's because, like I said, I feel like your person, when they met you, of the way that they came at you. So there's a sense like you're like, no, you're going to come and apologize to me. You're not just going to do a little like on Facebook and then have me sit here and talk to you, or reach out with a little text message and say, hey, what's up? And it's like where you're not going to address how you treated me. And that's why I feel like this person is holding back, where they're like, well, you're not telling me how you feel, so I'm afraid to contact you. I want you to contact me. If you would give me some peace of mind, then I can open up to you. So as long as you act like you don't care, I'm going to act like I don't care. And so that's what I see is going on here. So there is a lot of mirroring energy. Now, the twin flame connection, there is always a runner and a chaser, and I don't really feel like either one of you are running at this point. I feel like the energy's been stagnant for a long time. I feel like you gave up running, like I feel like you gave up chasing, where this person kept running. Everything else came before you, everything else came. So you were like, you didn't treat me important. No, they wanted to undervalue you. You showed them a different version of yourself. Well, the person again really realizes that there's a lot of uh passion. They're still thinking about you. Now they're really thinking about you because like I believe are triggering their abandonment issues, right? Because you're like, no, I'm not going to deal with this. And where that now, like I said, I feel like you're really forcing them to look at you. I'm tired of being away from you physically. I'm trying to process my fear so I can come back to you. Well, now it's like looking more twin flamey because now they're seeing that you're not coming towards them. So they're like, no, at this point, that they have to do something, that they have to come towards you in order for them to work this connection out. And the only way that that really happens is where they have to acknowledge also what they did and have changed behavior. So I feel like that's really what they're like healing. They're looking at like what that is. And I feel like it's their past connections. So I don't know how long it's going to take them. There are messages being exchanged through music and movies. So it's again, this person feels like you're supposed to be with them. It's like because of the signs and synchronicities, that again, soulmate twin flame connection. It's not one that logically makes sense. So I feel like this person is someone that's very logical, very analytical. And I mean, it's pretty much self-explanatory. Um, that they, that you don't think the way that they do, and vice versa. And that it really is the twin flame journey. The twin flame journey is that opposites attract, right? So it's not that this person is your other half. It's that, no one's a half of a person. It's just we grow up in environments that create trauma. And if the trauma is really bad, they turn into like where the blocks, and they're just blocks that never change, no matter how many times you go through a karmic theme, no matter how many times you've gone through an experience that has the same type of karmic theme, we tend to like never really get the lesson. So if we want to learn the lesson, but we really feel like on some level that we can, the universe always brings people to us to help us do that. And your twin flame soulmate does that. It helps you do that because, again, you're attracting someone that doesn't think the way that you do. The priorities are different. Your priorities were different than this person. Your priorities weren't about having a Gucci purse or a Gucci pair of pants or a Maserati car or whatever it is that you desire that would be, really extravagant. That's not, you know, you may desire it, but it's not priority. And it wasn't priority to where you were. What was priority to you was creating yourself, was growing yourself, and doing it in a way that was very unconventional for someone that was very conservative, someone that bases everything by, again, the logical and analytical mind. So again, the person undervalued you, but then I believe always watched you because there was always a connection. It's not like this person didn't have a connection. They just were like, I need to have someone hanging off my arm that has all those things, all the bells and whistles to make me feel good, to make us look good, to, again, so that we'll be the talk of the town. Again, all these ego things, which I feel like this person did attract people like that. And, you know, obviously didn't have a connection and aren't with those people, and they're not thinking about those people. They're still thinking about you. But now, like I said, so much time has gone by. And I feel like they're also saying, what I want is different. Like at the time, I wanted to run around. I wanted to, again, have a lot of different partners and seem as if I was a good catch, and have these people build me up and have a good time. And now I feel like this person is like, it's not even like, oh, you're the love of my life. I feel like I need you. There's a sense of like, I feel like I can, like we would have a good time together. I feel like we would, like, you're a real friend. I feel like you would teach me. I feel like learning about life through your eyes would expand me because my life is a little bit boring. And it would be if everything that you do is very logical and analytical and it's like clockwork. It's you get the job done. It's not that you don't get the job done, but life becomes very boring. And then you do live more from your addictions. You do escape from time to time. Imagine every day the same thing, Groundhog's Day. So it's not surprising that this person has like addictions problems, again, tends to escape within them because they're in balance. And when you're in balance, because everything is that way, very logical and analytical, you're not blowing off any steam with, other hobbies and interests. I believe that whatever hobby that this person has, it wasn't something that they're really, their heart is connected to. I believe that just everything came before you. And so whatever it was came before you. They refused to give you the energy and the time before, because again, though I find you attractive and I can see myself falling for you, you don't have all the ingredients that I see that would make my life look good. Again, so that's the kicker, because now this person does see it and they're like, oh, please reach out to me, because I don't even think you want to hear from me. And of course you're like, I'm not going to reach out to you. I'm gonna reach out to you. It's like you would need to have to reach out to me. That's why they're like, well, neither one of us are being honest. It's like you're being honest. You're just, like I said, this person's not used to being put in a position of that you're like want an apology. You're making them own how they treated you. And that's very embarrassing for them. And like I said, that doesn't make them feel good. So, like I said, I feel like they hide behind their pride. However, their ego is slowly coming down, because it says they're tired of being away from you. So they're trying to like overcome their fears, and part of their fear is to be vulnerable. By apologizing, you're being vulnerable. You're saying, like, I'm human. You're asking for forgiveness where you're vulnerable. This person like has a problem with that. When meanwhile, when they first met you, they wanted to act like they were like more superior. So again, I feel like there's there's a sense of they see the abundance, they see they see a lot of luck for you, they see like prosperity, they see, and I feel like that the more that things happen within your career, the more that this person like feels like more and more like of a temptation to reach out to you, gets more and more overstimulated with anxiety, feeling like you're going to leave them behind. So, you know, I feel like they don't know when they're going to come to you. I just feel like one day they're just not going to be able to deal with it. That's what it looks like to me, because there's a sense of just, like I said, feeling like you're gonna leave them behind. And so it's creating a lot of anxiety for them, a lot of anxiety. And there's a sense of true that in the fact that you're creating yourself, you're meeting new people, socialize. And I feel like that's also appealing to this person because I don't really feel like they have a big network of people. I don't believe that they connect well with people. So that's another thing that obviously it's not just your career, but it's the people that you're gonna meet. So I'm feeling like they're gonna just like lose it one day, like meaning just lose it to be like, I can't hold back anymore. I can't hold back anymore. And it's because um their guilt. I want to say their guilt. So I'm going to ask before we ask what, like, it's a collective reading. So, like, some of you people are gonna be like, I don't care, like, whether or not this person comes back, I'm not gonna take them back. And others of you, if it's a real twin flame connection and this person works their way to come back into your life, you may give them a chance. I could see you giving them a chance because if they're a twin flame. However, either way, we have to ask, what were you supposed to learn from this connection? Like, obviously it's very triggering, especially if a person's triggered that you're like moving it and like leaving them behind, like they weren't willing to come and apologize before that. So that's to also should tell you the type of person that this person is. Unworthy, the inner child wounds of why you attracted this person, trauma, isolation. So I feel like your inner child wounds it's again that the trauma came from feeling unworthy, feeling not good enough. Again, mainly because of that. One size doesn't fit all. Okay. So you might have not been a good student. You might have like beat to your own drum, been somebody that learns more by doing, someone that was very creative and artistic, someone that was into music but wasn't into school, into learning the academic parts of school. So I feel like you had like again been made felt bad about yourself as a child, almost like you were unworthy because maybe your grades weren't as good or you didn't fit in or didn't bring a lot of praise to your home. So like I said, due to I'm really feeling like it was school, and so that made you feel really like alone. And but understand when you're alone, you get a really strong imagination. The creative mind is that supernatural part of the mind. Like if you can create it, if you imagine it, you create it. And I feel like you grew up in an environment that, like I said, where you were isolated from your family because you were made to feel unworthy. So when I'm saying isolated, it could be psychologically not really included, also physically isolated. And that's the trauma here, where it's like the reoccurring trauma that I feel like is like having people judge you and seeing you as they want to see you, which is again to undervalue you, to not see your worth. And so, like I said, you don't just show this person your worth. I feel like you show a lot of people your worth, your competitors, family members, people that are not acknowledging you, people that have never acknowledged you. They're being forced to see who you are. And that's in for you to help heal your trauma. It's almost like the universe saying that there is karmic retribution. And the karmic retribution is that people create you know, a persona, a facade, how they want you to perceive them. But when you're really truly living your life and it's not a facade, well, it's extremely triggering. And I just feel like, again, this person undervalued you. Other people undervalued you. They didn't see your worth. They didn't see your vision. They didn't, you accomplished everything on your own without without any support. And spirit is just like there's you get accolades for that. You get at not just accolades. You get a lot of abundance that way. You're going to get a lot of recognition. You're going to get a lot of, and that's what I feel like is happening. And that is disturbing a lot of people because again, it's changing the way that they view you. And then that a lot of times is the way that's why they begin to look at themselves. And with this person, it's making them look at themselves and how they treated you. And I feel like seeing your worth now, because dating superficial people because of the bags that they have, or the clothes that they're wearing, or the car that they drive, where they live. Well, it's again, they're also the people that they're attracting are also looking for the same thing, someone that is gonna have a lot of money, someone that and is putting all the focus there. So, I think that your person is like came to realize like, wow, like I really had a connection with this person. It wasn't important to me. So, like I said, they're figuring out a way on coming back. And, so I guess it can classify as a twin flame relationship because they are figuring it out. So let's pull one more card. I'm really tired to just end this to see what is any other energy, any other information, any other message that we can apply to the situation to like help us, whether or not that's to be with this person or to not be with this person. Either way, what is the information? The path to light. I make the conscious choice to move forward the light, one step at a time. I transform my weaknesses into strength by mastering my thoughts. I overcome obstacles with positivity and acceptance. I develop my gifts and extend my light to every being unconditionally. So spirit saying like every situation in life is to help you return and evolve back to your natural energy, which is again unconditional love. And that this person is helping you do that. It's like, because it's like your twin flame is not an easy connection. Your twin flame is someone that's going to trigger the shit out of you. There's a lot of passion in a twin flame relationship because that passion helps transmute that negative energy, the fire. And I feel like your come up is, like I said, is really what's like making this person look at you differently, not because of, oh, I need the money, because I feel like this person makes money. I feel like they don't really have a very exciting life. I feel like their life is boring. I feel like they perceive your life as exciting. And so again, if I hung out with you, I feel like life would be more complete. I feel like I can see how my life would be better with you. I feel like how we complement each other, where at one point I think this person looked at your differences as weaknesses and didn't see how they could benefit their life because they were too focused on the material. They were too busy focused on the wrong things. And now that, they see that things are actually happening for you, they're like, well, you can actually have both. You can create your own life and make a lot of money, where your life doesn't look like a cookie cutter. It's not boring. It's exciting. Your life is exciting. So exciting that you're obviously going to leave me behind. But I feel like this person, like, is so business savvy. And if you're having a come up, well, this person is going to try and come into your life and offer you some assistance. Again, they're not very confident in how to approach you. Remember, they wanted you to approach them to uh, just put their mind at ease. So again, they tend to be very logical and analytical and not be very emotional, uh, intelligent. So like, it wouldn't surprise me if they came out and made an excuse about your business or offered some help, or again, that was their opening. That's what they led with. Um, And I feel like you're someone that is emotionally intelligent. So again, there's that energy that this person is like, I feel like if I come to you and I act, vulnerable, well, then you'll, give me a chance, maybe. And that's what I feel like. I feel like they're looking at your gifts and the way that you are. And like I said, not looking at them as their, negative things. Now they're seeing how, again, you would complement them, bring out the best version of themselves, and vice versa. And the fact that you stuck up for yourself and you wouldn't not like uh just gonna go along to talking to them like however the way that they wanted to. I feel like again, the way that they first met you, like they didn't like or appreciate a lot of the way that you handled yourself and the way that you were, but now they see you in a completely different light. That now they don't look at it like, oh, that's so prude, or though that's like, I didn't like that bothers me that this person didn't. They're actually like looking and saying, I'm glad that they didn't sit there and talk to me dirty all night on the internet. I'm glad that they didn't, because I know that that's not what they do. So they're also saying, wow, this person like created themselves, put their energy into themselves. They know how to, they're looking at you, like I said, from all different angles, but they're really seeing you through positive light, which is why, again, they're also coming back. It's not just the fact that your life is exciting, but I will tell you that that's helping it. I'm going to leave that there, Virgo. You let me know how you resonated. I'll talk to you soon.